Hello, Fatality Workers. This is Blackflame from the Fatality Company, and welcome back to Noc'Craft. I have decided what all of my directions shall be. So, as we already know, this is the base IC2 / power gen. Then over here we have buildcraft and thermal expansion. This is the surface. Advanced industrial craft 2. Mob farms / farms in general. Storage. Bedroom. Storage. So, the idea being that way's my bedroom, and then the storage is going to be up and across above this tunnel area, which is why the tunnel area is there in the first place, rather than just opening into my room. You may have also noticed that I've been messing around with the micro blocks from Red Power. Why? I don't know. I was trying to give the area a nice look. I like this with the wood. These are anti-panels, I think, or triple panels. Yeah, triple panels. I think my caps lock's on, you know. But, 1 second. Yeah, I don't really like this bit much. I think I'm going to change that, but one thing that we're going to get started on this episode is I may have come back to a slight problem. This is still working brilliantly. Fantastic. You know, steam turbine's still fine. Still, everything's working exactly how I wanted it to. A little too well, in fact. I came back and there was charcoal bouncing up and down the pipes. You know, too much of that and it could probably crash the server. But, so what I did was, round this corner, you may see this pipe with a little black bit on it. Now what that is it is a restriction tube, which is a pneumatic tube and an iron ingot. What that does is it basically acts like 1,000 pipes in one, distance-wise. So as I've explained before, the Red Power pneumatic tubes route to the nearest inventory. And, which basically means by adding 1,000 blocks there, that is the nearest inventory, even though technically speaking that's closer. So what we have now is 3 barrels that are full of charcoal, and then we've got this chest at the end as the final resort. It gets pumped out of by that wooden engine, and it gets destroyed in that void pipe. Because, to be fair, we don't need more than, like, you know, 186 stacks of stuff. I think it's slightly more than that, in fact. So, what else have I been up to since last time? Well, as you might be able to hear, I've been messing around with a new mod called Matmos. You may have caught a glimpse of it towards the end of last episode, because I need to turn it off. But it adds nice little sound effects depending on the areas you're in. Like, here there is... There we go. I couldn't actually hear it then, which was worrying me a little. But it's like little seaside splooshings of the waves, if there was any. And the other thing I've done is, if I just back up a little bit and go, whew! There's an island here now. I built an island for all the Thorncrafty stuff to do. Although I've not really carried on with it yet. I need to advance a bit in Thorncraft before I start doing anything more with it. But as you can see, it's not exactly... it's too round at the minute. It looks like I've just dropped a sphere in the ocean. I need to level it out to be more like the actual natural islands. But I ran out of blocks, so yeah. So the other thing that I have done is I've made the first house. See, it's got 2 doors on, just because, well, you need more doors, otherwise villagers just won't breed. Yeah. So that's all I've done off camera, and
User entered
the
your
first
channel.
thing that we're going to do today is get joined by a Mr. DJ. First thing is hobbyists. That's not how you spell hobby. There we go. Steam engines. Which we need 3 gold nuggets. It's basically a normal engine recipe, but with gold nuggets and gold plate gears, which is stone with gold nuggets around it. Let's hoping I've still got gold left, since I may have used quite a bit in that new little gold strips on the floor, but yeah. So I need some cobblestone. I need some. In fact, you know, I'm just gonna skip until I'm actually making the engines. I've just shown you the recipe, and you've seen me make the pistons and stuff before. Okay, so you may notice I've already made 2. This is a 3rd one. We need 3, right? I'm sure we need 3. Actually, we probably need many, many more than 3. But these are Railcraft's lowest tier steam engines for creating buildcraft Minecraft jewels. However, these have a little bonus compared to the higher tier ones, in the fact that you can run the hobbyist ones. They kind of like have an internal boiler. I'll plop one down to show you. You see, they've got, it's pretty much the same interface that the big boiler has. In fact, no, it is the exact same interface that the other one has, except for it's got a Minecraft jewel indicator there. So literally, if I start putting water into this and fuel into this, it will start generating heat and then steam inside itself. And I think it runs at 1.6 Minecraft joules per tick when running internally, and 2 when using steam produced by an external boiler. The main reason that I'm even making these is I'm going to put restriction tubing here. Maybe 1 or 2, just to make it so that it goes to those first. Actually, no, yeah, just 1. Then it'll come to these and then over to there. Have water pumping into these and have them being like almost a way to use up more of the charcoal, because, as I've said many times already, we have way too much charcoal now, and I really don't know what I'm doing with it. So I'm going to gather the things up and empty my inventory, because as always I'm cluttered as balls. Back in a bit. Okay, everyone. I have decided what we need to work towards to get those steam engines working properly. This is an aqueous accumulator, for which we will need our very first machine frame, which is kind of the core component for all thermal expansion machines. I don't have any glass. I swear I just had some on me. Here was me trying to be all prepared for once. There we go. You just make that with gold in the middle, 4 iron and 4 glass. Then the other thing we need is a servo motor. That's a piece of redstone, 2 pieces of iron and 2 pieces of glass. Not like that though. Spin them around a bit. There we go. Then we also need a bucket. And I think that's it. Machine frame in the middle, servo motor on the bottom, bucket on the top, 2 pieces of glass on the sides, and 2 pieces of tin down there. There we go. Now, what does an aqueous accumulator do, you may ask? Well, it accumulates aqueously. Ignore the extra changes from last time that I was down here. I've been messing around in between recording bits. Yeah, well, basically, it is it's similar to the way that we've got the tank set up over there. If I plop this down, say, here, see all the orange sides on it? The way thermal expansion machines work is they've got this little configuration tab inside them, which the parts of the inventory glow. So say there's the orange bit there, which means that that bit is what the face will. Now I'm making a hash out of this. It correlates to the side. So say if there was an input, it would normally be blue, and then you'd input into any side that you change on this to be blue. So, an aqueous accumulator makes water. So if I go and grab some of our golden waterproof pipe from the chest, and put, say, 3 down there, you can see in its inventory it has a very, very tiny amount of water building up. You can see it in the bottom of the first pipe there. Well, that's because you need to put water source blocks near it. Like that, and then I need to actually go and get some water source blocks. I think I might be able to use the tank over here for that. If I do this. There we go. Sploosh. And that's not a tank, that's a boiler. They do completely different things. There we go. And then, now that it has water, need 2, I think, blocks near it. Basically enough to make an infinite spring. It is making a lot more water. So if I plonk the steam engines down from before, the pipes there, it will start filling them up with delicious, delicious water. And then all we need to do is get the piping set up for them. And, well, have a place for the power to go. Also, quick side note about the new decoration things that I was messing around with down there. I broke my diamond handsaw, making all the multi-blocks down there. And Marek, being the kind soul that he is, came over and decided to donate a lot of saws. Yes, I know, Zach. Yeah, that is way more saws than I will ever use. What's that? 9 hand saws? If I ever use 9 diamond hand saws up, there is something wrong. Anyway, be right back. Okie dokie then. Hopefully we've finally put all the pieces together to make some machines. So we need another 3 machine frames, because the way I'm doing this at the minute, because I don't actually have a buildcraft thermal expansion room, I'm just going to put them down here with the actual power gen until I get around to making one. So we need a redstone reception coil, that's gold and redstone like that. So we need that at the bottom, machine frame in the middle, then invar, which is invar dust, which is made with 2 iron dust from either the macerator or pulverizer, and some nickel as well, which you get from the ferrous ore. I need a bucket. That'll do. And 2 pieces of copper. There we go, that's an induction smelter. I'll explain these all once I have placed them down. Next up is a magma crucible. We need another one of the redstone conduction coils, reception coils. Conductance is a different coil. We need 2 copper, 2 nether brick, and another bucket. So bucket, 2 copper, 2 nether brick, and then the machine frame and coil. And then the last one is a liquid transposer, 2 glass, machine frame, coil, bucket, and 2 copper. So we need another bucket for the top, 2 copper. Need to make the coil first. Brains all over the place today. So the coil, there we go. Okay, that's everything. And the order we want them in is magma crucible, induction smelter at the end, and liquid transposer there. Now, using our trusty little wrench, we can spin these round so that they're all facing the machines. And I will go through what they do. Magma crucible, you can put things into it and make things. Yeah, no. You put certain things in it. Oh dear. No, Conan. No. Oh, he'll be fine. But you can put things in such as netherrack and cobble to make lava, but then some of the more advanced stuff you can make water with snow and snowballs. Redstone makes molten redstone, ender pearls make molten ender, bone meal makes molten white dye, and you can make all different dyes and stuff like that with it too. I'll explain that in a second. Okay, so the liquid transposer takes liquids that you put into it and puts them into things. Or, if you switch it round, you can put things into it and it will take the liquids out of them. But we're going to use it in this mode. So you can put, say, liquid wolframium. I don't know why that happens to be the first recipe, but you can do that and put it into cells. You can make acid capsules, and I'm guessing, yeah, there we go. You can make water buckets. Things like that. And then the induction smelter is actually another way, it's an alternative to the macerator / pulverizer method of making 2 dust out of an ore and then smelting that up afterward to double your ores. This, if you put in an ore in that slot, and you can put sand in that slot, well, you've got to put sand in that slot, it will double your ores into here. And it will also produce slag in the bottom, which is kind of a byproduct. But you can make rock wool out of that, which is pretty much exactly the same as wool, but it doesn't burn. But the other things you can use that for is actually combining 2 different materials. You've actually seen this before in an earlier episode when I made the hardened glass for the liquiducts. Obsidian dust plus lead. I think there's others in here as well. Yeah, so you can make Invar, you can make Electrum. I think you can make others. Yeah, platinum, nickel. No, that's just doubling stuff, never mind. Anyway, so that's what all of those do. And now I've actually gone and made up the other things off camera as well. The restriction tube, so I've put restriction tube there, normal tubes, and I can do that. And then, ooh, I'm just going to cheat and come in here and go like that, get some cobble because I don't want to run all the way back to the surface for it. Is this? Yeah, that's gone down by now. There was a weird bug that happened overnight where my boiler randomly decided that it wanted to run out of everything, including fuel and water, which meant that, of course, because there's no fuel, no steam was being made, which meant that there could be no more fuel. But something really weird happened because the pipes were switched the wrong way around as well, so not even water was going into it. But, oh well. So what we need is... oh no, we only need 2 of those. There we go. Get a couple more levers. And I'm missing a block. I need a block. Any kind of block. Anyone with a block. Block, 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 block. There we go. I've got 2 blocks. No. Ah, tree in my face. Where did that come from? Oh yeah, tree farm. Right. So then we need to plonk these down on top. And there you go. There's the first bit of charcoal going in. And then we can put the levers on here. 1, 2, 3. And as soon as they get charcoal, they will start to build up their own internal heat. Much quicker, may I add, than my boiler does, because my boiler is much, much larger. And then as soon as it hits 100, start making steam, and we'll start powering the induction smelter. Now, You may be thinking, what did I make these specific machines for? Well, there's a very, very specific purpose. Well, one of those things that we can do is get some lead dust and some obsidian dust, and this is the recipe that I've shown you before. Bam, hardened glass. And you can see the steam engine there running off of its charcoal. So, what are we going to do with the hardened glass? Exactly the same as we did with it last time. In the middle, bam, liquiducts. Now we can come through here and very hurriedly replace all of the all of the pipes with it. I've just realised that that's a very bad way to do this. Because I'm just making it so that it's not connected at all. So I'm going to get rid of these so that I don't have to... no, never mind. I've got to wrench them. Shift right click. There we go. Hope this doesn't slow down the process too much. There we go. And then all I need to do is right click to attach. And as you can see, that's a lot more full than the other side because, well, it carries a lot more at once. It's much higher pressure. And we will be replacing this side with it too, but of course I need more obsidian. I've got plenty of lead. I think I have actually got more obsidian macerating up here though, so I should be able to, there we go, can make some more of it right now and hopefully replace the other side, because that just makes it a bit more efficient. And if I'm honest, I think liquiducts look better than the gold pipes. Another feature that you may have just noticed as well about the liquiducts is they do not connect to any pipe that has a different liquid in them unless you right click them with a wrench, and then they will. Which means that you can actually run the liquiducts very close to each other. I could actually run another one just out of here, say there, and run it along the top of this one and into this, and they wouldn't connect to each other, which means that I'd get another high pressure line. Because if I just ran it out of there and into this, it'd be the same pressure, get the same amount of steam through that, even though it's coming through two, coming out of two bits of that. So if we kept two separate lines, we get more steam per second, which is what we want in the end, isn't it? Obsidian and lead, there we go. Now you see, the induction smelter's configuration bit is a lot more complicated than the aqueous accumulator that only has one colour. See, this has green for input for the left hand side, purple for input for the right, and it has red for output of the main product, yellow for output of the byproduct, but it also has an orange colour which pulls from basically both. And I think grey is everything. No, that's not grey, that's... I know, it's green, it just looks really dull on my texture pack. That is the nothing one. That goes, I guess, where it would think it's supposed to go. I'm not entirely sure. I've never really messed around with them that much. But it's basically like having tubing inside the machine, so you can connect multiple machines together without external piping. Okay, let's go and tear this other gold pipe down. Boop, 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 boop. Then run it from the boiler this way. Nope, shift left, there we go. And luckily I can do this now because there is no wood in the oven at the minute, which means that I'm not jeopardizing anything by doing this. Wrench, right, yeah. There we go. across, and boom. Steam. I actually want some wood to come through now, just so that you can see how much quicker it will fill up with steam now that it's using liquiducts instead. So I'm just gonna grab some wood out of that and dump it in there manually, just so that you can get to see the steam replenish itself. See more charcoal coming along and up here to power this engine, and now it's starting to get to the other ones as well. There we go, lovely. Right. Ready? So it's heating up, it's about to cook 9. Bam. That's almost instantaneous, you really can't tell, even, which is fantastic. However, the other uses that we want those machines for, especially, you may notice that we've only used this one, and not these other two, the thing that creates liquid, and the thing that puts liquid into items. Because they're going to have to wait until next time that we're actually working on stuff. I actually have a plan for the start of the next episode at least, so I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.